So good evening, everyone. My name is Anthony Mangieri. I'm the president for IAM Region 2. With us is Ken Honig and Mike Prasad and Nicole Marks, who are all members of the region. Michael is vice president, Ken is our treasurer, and Nicole is our secretary. We're going to go over that in a couple minutes. So I am going to bring up my slide deck to share the screen. I envision tonight that could be really a conversation amongst us as to some of the background and information for IAM. You should be seeing my screen now.
Yes, we do.
And hopefully you're seeing my you're seeing the slide without all the notes and comments.
Yes.
Good. Wow, that even worked. Okay, so here we go. Welcome to IAM Region 2. The focus of this conversation tonight is to talk about new member orientation, but it was a good way to everyone to get together and have a conversation about IAEM, about our region, vision and effort, at least for the next year, so that everyone's aware this is the last year that I'm the regional president. So next year there will be an election. There has to be. And hopefully one of you will consider applying for any of the positions that are open next year, being 2024 regional president and regional secretary, I believe, are up for election. So we'll get into that in a minute. So my name again is Anthony Mangieri. I'm the regional president. I've been here for 5 years so far, and before that I was vice president for about 4 years. So I've been here for a good bit. As regional president, so that people understand the roles, as regional president, I'm elected in the region, which Region 2 is New York, New Jersey, Puerto Rico, and the U.S. Virgin Islands. And I serve in two roles once elected. I'm the regional president, but I am also a member of the board of directors for IAEM-USA. So I have those two functions as part of this. My background, just so you know, I am, I've been in emergency management for some 40 years. I was with the New Jersey Office of Emergency Management, the State Health Department, and consulting. I'm also faculty at two universities, Rowan University and American Military or American Public University System. Some of you have attended one of those two universities, and I'm glad you're here. About IAM, we are a national organization in that IAEM-USA represents really local, county, state, and federal, and in some and military, if you want to separate them from federal, emergency management entities. That includes both public and private sector, which includes hospitals, healthcare facilities, banking, business continuity experts from a variety of areas. All of this composition in the United States and its territories makes up IAEM-USA. IAEM is also international in that it is part of the International Association of Emergency Managers, which has chapters in many other countries. There's one in Canada. Sure, now I'd stop. I believe Canada, Europe, I forget what they call New Zealand, and Oceania. I'm sorry, there you go. So there are chapters. There's even a chapter in, I believe, the United Arab Emirates, or Dubai. So there are international flavor in what we do and international themes in what we do. It is not just emergency management in the United States, but IAEM-USA is our USA chapter of the emergency management. And Region 2, as I said, represents Puerto Rico, New York, New Jersey, and the U.S. Virgin Islands. Our vision in IAEM-USA is to be international, but really to be part of the International Association, but to better emergency management for the USA members. And to me, my mission, my personal agenda is to advocate for emergency managers and for this program this organization to provide opportunities for education, training, mentoring, and certification and validation of what we do as emergency managers. The mission of IAM is to advance the profession by promoting the principles of emergency management and to serve its members by providing information, networking, and development opportunities. There are some things we cannot do. We cannot lobby, for example. I can talk to legislators and provide technical guidance and support, but I can't actually lobby, and neither can IAEM-USA. That's commonly misunderstood. We can't be lobbyists, as our 501c3 doesn't allow. We are chartered, in case anyone cares, IAEM-USA is chartered in Virginia. So as I said, we represent the states of New York and New Jersey, the Commonwealth of Puerto Rico, and the U.S. Virgin Islands. There is not many members in Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands. I have a meeting scheduled with 2 representatives in Puerto Rico to see what we can do to improve that. And we do have 1 member in the U.S. Virgin Islands that I believe it's just 1 member, and he's actually the head of the U.S. Virgin Islands Emergency Management Agency. So more importantly, you are part of a professional organization that includes the entire USA and other nations around the world. And that's really what I wanted to bring forward tonight in the conversation, to make you aware that crisis management and emergency management, whatever we call this, public and private sector, this is the association for that bonding network and discussion. And our region is another part of that effort. I'm sorry, somebody had texted me that they couldn't get in. I just want to let them know to try again, because I want everyone to be here as best as possible. My personal opinion is that I believe very much in servant leadership, which means that I'm here for you. So the easiest way to reach me, in case no one knows, the absolute easiest way to reach me is to use IAEM.R2@IAEM-USA, or I'm sorry, IAEM.com. For those of you that are just joining us, I'm sorry you couldn't get into the room. We're taking care of that now, making sure everyone can get into the room. We really just have gone over what IAEM-USA is, what IAM is, since they are separate, and we talked about the region and how the region is here to be your local organization for us to do what we want to do and can do in our region to better our organization, if that makes sense. Okay, give me 1 second. I didn't say I was well organized, just here. So tonight really is about understanding what we have and who we are. As I said, I'm the president, Michael is vice president, Nicole is secretary, and Ken is our treasurer. Ken has been treasurer for quite a long time and is very focused on funding and assuring that we have the opportunities for growth and development within our organization. And we'll get into some of those opportunities. The other thing that we have here is we do have Rod Bowman as our DEI advisor. We're one of the first regions to have a DEI advisor. And the reason that we did that was because it is very important that we are not just inclusive, but our decisions allow for opportunity for all members of the organization. This is the executive board, the president, the vice president, secretary, treasurer, and our advisors. In addition, the president primary focus on serving as a liaison between us and headquarters and working to build strategic planning and partnership. The vice president focuses supporting state representatives and implementation of strategic plan. The board officers, and we're going to do a strategic plan this year, board officers are elected by the IAM Region 2, and advisors are appointed by the president with concurrence of the executive board. So it is a partnership across the board. We do have 2 right now. Mike Passat, who is also our vice president, is the New Jersey representative, and the New York representative is Denton Kurtz. out of New York. We are working very hard to find Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands, two representatives that can attend our meetings and engage and help us build opportunities for the members in those areas and to build membership. Michael is acting in that role right now. I would like to see us have a New Jersey rep, someone that's tied to the New Jersey emergency management systems, that understands what's going on in the state. And the regional reps really are the territorial and state reps. What they do is they provide us insight to what's going on in those states or regions and areas so that we can help facilitate more locally. The other thing is, we do have some resources to occasionally have a gathering and a get together, and we do that fairly often. And that's where your dues are going in some cases, or in some ways. Okay. Our priorities in the upcoming year is to expand our member network, to build training opportunities and engagement opportunities so that we can put the word out that there is this association, and to network with various entities that provide training and coordination so that we're putting the word out, making people aware. As you know, most training in emergency management is free, but it is very difficult sometimes to find out what's going on out there. So we tend to make that available, and I'll explain how we network and outreach that information to you. Provide member level opportunities that reflect in the emergency management community. I would love to see and find the day two things. One is that we're mentoring so that our professionals are assisting, and volunteers are assisting people who are maybe entering the career or mid-career and need some guidance and support. I have one person that just reached out, for example, that wants to get into federal service and needs to talk to someone from FEMA or a federal agency so they can learn how is best to do that. That's one vision. The other vision that I have is, as there are exercises and opportunities to engage and grow and learn, that we make that opportunity available to other members, our members from other areas, so that there is that facilitation. New York and New Jersey, Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands, we have very different types of disasters. So it is important sometimes simply to understand, to have the opportunity to engage in emergency operations or even exercises in other areas, to learn and grow and facilitate that knowledge. Continue to refine and develop formalized regional strategic plan. That is a major objective for this year. I really would like to see us have a formal strategic plan. I admit that falls on me and something I need to pay attention to get done. In part because I want these 6 years to have mattered, and I want the next leadership to know what we've done and what our shared vision is for the future. Member benefits. What are your benefits? What led you to join IAEM? I'm kind of curious. If anybody wants to talk up, feel free. I just am curious. I know that one of our former leaders here that led the organization for many years and made the region is Bill Castellano that's there. Bill's been here as a member for what? Bill, what has it been, about 3 decades?
Yeah, it's been just about 30 years.
So, what's kept you here, Bill? What's kept you involved in this organization?
I'm still involved with emergency management, even though I'm retired. And although I'm working a lot on a different scale, I'm working a lot with the Coast Guard currently.
Okay.
So, and I led an emergency management team with the Coast Guard. So it's been an interesting time. It's very different with that type of service than in the other public sectors that I've worked with.
So how have you used IAM? Has it helped you transition some of that thought, or reach out to people that can help you understand that new environment of the Coast Guard, that military and community-centric response and operations?
Yes, that's very true. As you know, I've served on several committees with IAM, and I still do. So that keeps me in line. And another thing, I'm still a member of the IAM State Association Committee, and I'm the vice president of the New Jersey Emergency Management Association. So it keeps me busy on that side as well.
Great, great. And so obviously Bill talks about what interests him, and after so many years to still have that passion is what we bring forward. So I know what interests him, but what interests you in emergency management? What interests you? What are your goals and objectives and interests? Reach out to me if I can facilitate those. People don't realize you're welcome to join any of the caucuses of IAM, and we'll talk about that in a minute, and committees. And you too can build rapport and knowledge in a specific discipline. And when you transition, like I've moved from public to private sector in the last couple of years, I relied on people from IAM to help me understand nuances of consulting, for example, or public health, or transportation, emergency management type things. And how can we help you to achieve those goals is what I'm here for. And all the executive board actually has a passion to do this as well. Ken has been part of emergency management as well for a long time, and has a very strong passion to make sure that the next generation has access and the ability to achieve what they want and what they need. The other thing I'm really excited, Nicole last year, to give you an idea, we're going to talk more about this in a second, but Nicole has had a passion for wanting to have a regional conference again, and we were able to do it. And Nicole and her team put together an excellent regional conference last year. And the people always ask me, especially at IAEM-USA, why a regional conference? Why not have people come to the USA conference? And the answer is very simple. There are two things. First is the cost for some is prohibitive. Right now, the next conference is in Long Beach, California, and we can't afford to be there. So that's one reason. The other reason is because we want to address issues and concerns that are regional versus national, and I think that's an important thing. But those two things those issues started with someone having an interest, a desire, a goal, and what we did was help that happen. The executive board did was help that happen, and to the benefit of our membership. I thought that conference this year was, bar none, one of the best I've been at. So we'll talk a little bit about that. We also do newsletters. We've been a little remiss this year. It's my fault on the, I set a bad tone in the beginning, and we need to get back to doing a USA or a regional newsletter, region notes. And we're getting back to that. And I'm excited about that opportunity. And what it does is it allows us to put out regional information. But more importantly, Region 2 publishes their recurring newsletter, usually every couple months, every two, or usually quarterly. Let's say that. And the regional events are there, information is there. It is also an opportunity for you, especially if you're looking to be a CEM, to write an article for the emergency management community that can be published. That's an important thing, because as you go for your CEM, your contributions to the emergency management community are there. IAM Bulletin is a USA bulletin. It is released by USA and has great information about emergency management topics. And that is sent out weekly. The bulletin is? No, the dispatch, I believe, is sent out weekly. The bulletin is sent out monthly. But this the weekly dispatch. You can elect to be part of our message board, which people don't know. IAM last year generated something called IAEM Connect. So you can go to there and you can post. It's a discussion board. So you can post a message. Somebody can respond to you. There's been everything there of recent, including somebody talking about, I'm starting a violent incident response program at my school. Somebody help me with guidance on what publications and information is best. We've had students and people ask questions about education as they come through the system to find out what is next or best for them. You can elect to be part of this, and by doing so, you're now sharing with members across the world about emergency management issues, trends, and patterns, and that's very valuable. Networking opportunities, mainly at due to the efforts of Nicole. But we've done others, happy hours, both virtually and in person. We want to do more of these. We are now admittedly coming out of COVID and the inability to get together. So this is something that's a priority. We have had breakfast at the New Jersey Emergency Preparedness Conference. We have had get-togethers at different conferences and events, both in New York. We even had a get-together in Puerto Rico to try to get our members together, to get to know each other. As you know, in emergency management, the last thing you want to do is meet the people you rely on at the time of disaster. We want to start doing facility tours and special events, and we rely on you as members to tell us what you can contribute to this, if at all. Conference socials, as I said, online networking, both LinkedIn and Facebook. LinkedIn group is really important. Everything that we're posting now, I now post and Mike post on LinkedIn, and Nicole. Ken, I don't know if you're posting on LinkedIn or not. I know you monitor it, but so we're putting a lot of information there so that members have a place that they can go and gather information, and they could also post there. We don't restrict the post. We do restrict membership to IAM Region 2 members, but after that, we don't restrict posts there. You're welcome to post there, to seek guidance, to offer opportunities. One of the happiest things I got last year was an email from someone that said, please keep posting the job opportunities. I have a new job because I saw it there. And that's the kind of things we wanted that to be, is that open network. We did that before IAM Connects came into being. So again, we were a little bit ahead of the game, and its ability to passively engage in communications with your peers here in Region 2. Oh, excuse me. IAM Region 2 events include webinars, which we are working to get more webinars online. Matter of fact, I need a new chairperson for programs because person that was doing it, their family had a child, and God bless them, but it left me needing more assistance in that area. But again, doing the webinars is another opportunity where you can do a presentation that counts, not only introducing you to our members and people to get to know you, but it all and the topic that you're bringing forward, but it's also an opportunity, again, to contribute to emergency management for your CEM credentialing. We want to create a CEM cohort. We have done that informally, but let's formalize it. We do have conference booths. We can attend state conferences. We have some resource to do that now where we didn't before. So we want to be present at various state conferences. We are at the New Jersey Emergency Management Conference. We were at the New York Conference, and I believe it was called ID3 or
the Emergency Disaster Management Conference with in conjunction with ISC East.
Thank you. I knew you'd get that out of me. Thank you for that, because I never remember that name. But so we try to be at different conferences and events. We can fund some of it. We can't fund all of it. So we do. We are a bit more strategic, but that doesn't mean we can't enjoy the opportunity, and we can't pay for one or two members to be there. I'm going to talk about that as one of our benefits, as a matter of fact, in this region. So the annual Region 2 conference, I think this event from now on and forever will exist, at least as long as I'm around. But I need a chairperson for next year. We need to get this. We're behind in the planning for it. Nicole did an excellent job last year, but Nicole will tell you it takes a lot of effort, and doing it 2 years in a row is just draining. And we don't want to interfere with anyone's professional career. So we want to share the wealth amongst many volunteers. Besides, it's your region. I'm just facilitating as the liaison, as the regional president, but it's your chance to shine and not mine. I've already had my career. Professional development workshops, think tanks, engagement in a variety of programs and opportunities have been really, really successful. Also being engaged in national committees and bringing that information back to IAM Region 2. Nicole, I'm sorry, since that's a big part of what you did last year, and I'm very proud of what you did. Did you have anything you wanted to add about regional events?
No, I think you covered it pretty well, but thank you. I appreciate
No,
it.
sure.
You're gonna keep them going. Let us
Good.
know if you have ideas.
So the annual conference, attend the IAM annual conference. This year is in Long Beach, California. There's also a virtual conference with that. The conference is an incredible place to meet people, to learn about emerging trends and issues, to understand the emergency management community in its broadest sense. I think that for me personally, I was very familiar with New Jersey emergency management, our ways, processes, and systems. I found a lot of differences when I went to a national conference and found out how other people did it in other states and territories. Conferences also usually, there are usually pre and post conference training sessions so that some hard to get courses you can get there as well, which is kind of good. Members can volunteer your time to reduce your cost of attendance. And this year's sessions will be in Long Beach, California, November 3rd through the 9th. Interesting enough, IAEM Region 2 was the first and is still offering a discount for members who choose to go to the conference. When you register as a Region 2 member and you use the code that was emailed out to you, you get, I believe we're doing a 20% discount up to a certain amount. I have to, for budget regions, I have to cut it off at a certain amount, but we rarely hit that amount. That has been made available both to student members as well as career emergency managers or engaged emergency managers. I don't want to use the word career, but volunteer or career, I guess, emergency managers. It is available to you on an ongoing basis. That annual conference, I think we'll continue it. And to tell you the truth, the regional conference and success of the regional conference allowed us to have opportunity to provide that resource. And I'm very, very happy with the turnaround there.
Excuse me, we also offer a scholarship for the conference fee to one student member from New York, New Jersey, Puerto Rico, and the U.S. Virgin Islands, one from each of the 4 zones in the region. Students can apply through by sending an email to the president saying that you'd like to apply for the scholarship and give us a short essay what your major is and what you hope to get out of the conference.
And that's a very, very important perk. You need to know that not all regions are able to do this. I am really excited, and the executive board is very, very happy to do this. But I don't want you to think that discount is free. The region actually pays that discount to USA. So if you get a 20% discount, we get billed the 20% in the region. So it's important that you know where your dues and where the conference money goes to. In this case, the conference money, the vendor support have allowed us to do more than some are able to do in the past. And that's because of the support, commitment, and engagement of everyone. So IAEM also has a scholarship, and I sit on the scholarship commission. Annually, there's a competition for funds to go towards your academic degree development, and it is both undergraduate and graduate, and it is a part-time or full-time. There are 4 different categories: higher education, EM support, IAM specific scholarship opportunities. We also do mentorship and professional development. This is all what's available for our student members. It is important to understand that our student members are part of our region. So therefore, we want to make sure that the region and the members in the region respond to and support our student members that are coming into this profession. And it's very important to understand that these are people that and individuals that may not have the access that we were able to have. But some do, some don't. Some don't know how to transition from whether it be uniform or civilian emergency management, or a uniform military or civilian uniform service, don't know how to transfer some of those ideas into emergency management. So we provide that support and will continue to do so. Right now it is an ad hoc effort, but with the mentoring, but that's something that we've tried and have not gotten off the ground. Hopefully this new year or the new president can get off the ground. Region 2 partners with educational institutions to provide seminars, conferences, networking. We were very, very fortunate to have Stony Brook provide us space for that Region 2 conference. While it was a little tough to get there, for me at least, it certainly provided an environment for learning and networking that was first class. So New Jersey Emergency Management, or I'm sorry, IAEM has the Certified Emergency Manager Program. New Jersey has a New Jersey CEM, which is not related. And there is value to the New Jersey CEM, but it is not the same credential. CEM stands for Certified Emergency Manager. AEM stands for Associate in Emergency Management. Sorry. So the difference comes down to they're not superior, inferior, or one leading to the other. They're two different opportunities for certification. The CEM validates a base level or core level of experience, education, professional contribution, as well as letters of reference, emergency management training, general management training, and multiple choice examination. The AEM forgoes the initial experience, education, and contribution requirement so that you can focus on getting letters of reference, training, and taking the exam and starting your path towards certification. The CEM is actually one of the most sought after emergency management certificates in the country and actually in the world. There's a lot of places where it's recognized. And so is the AEM. AEM is a good start. I teach at Rowan, and one of the things that I want to do this year is, for example, mentor my students through the Associate Emergency Management Program. I point that out because if you're a teacher, for example, or professor, and you want to do the same at your own university, that's fine. There's actually an opportunity for you to literally create an IAEM student association on campus, and to have your students be IAEM student members and benefit from these programs, the networking, and all the things. We don't differentiate per se and isolate students as a different group. All students receive all the benefits that we're talking about in the same context so that they have access and can learn and grow and be the next generation of emergency managers. We do have
the students do pay a lower dues level.
Yes.
In recognition of the fact that they're not earning money yet.
Yeah, I don't know. Does anyone know what that is right now? I think it's $65.
Yeah, it's about half. It's less than half of what a full.
And there are some restrictions now. A couple of years ago, they put restrictions on that. I think it's 6 years you can get that rate. You have to be a full-time student. There's a couple things there. But it's well worth it to get individuals in the next generation of emergency manager involved. Region 2 has several featured mentors for the CEM AEM program. Ken, myself are two on here. I don't know who else in the group is. Nicole is, okay. So, we can help guide you through the CEM process and literally walk you through so that you have a partner as you go through this path to certification. IAM members offered a discount to obtaining your CEM and AEM. Let me point out to you that if you are not a member of IAEM and you get CEM certified, the cost for the CEM certification is the same as if you joined IAEM and got the discounted rate. So it is important that you consider joining if you haven't and you're getting your CEM, because then you'll get a year of membership as well.
And your membership after 2 years counts as a professional contribution.
Yes, thank you. I forget that all the time, ironically. I also don't put my being regional president, and every once in a while it's like, oops.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I didn't say I was bright. So certification and featured mentors. If you're going to pick one of us as a featured mentor or anyone, there is a form that you need to fill out. The reason we do that is so that we track who is, and I, as your featured mentor, can get professional credit for supporting as a professional contribution. So there you go. Also, the CEM exam, I might as well go over that while we're here. The CEM exam is, in fact, available online now. It is digital as of, I think, our conference.
Yeah, our conference was, I think, the first place that it was done in a testing center, 100% digital.
So here's the deal. You can take the CEM exam remote. You have to have a proctor that fits certain categories. They can be a supervisor, while not your immediate supervisor. They can be, for example, a chief officer if you're a firefighter. They can be a teacher. You can go to a testing center. And I think, Ken, you and I don't know if any featured member?
Any CEM who is also a member of the executive board, either on the regional or the national level,
Good.
Can proctor an exam.
And this is an example of where I tend to advocate. I, on the board, keep advocating for a little more flexibility on the USA board so that we can make this available rather than be prohibitive. We want to be engaging and give opportunity for anyone that wants it, and within reason, because this is a professional certification. That is why they want it proctored appropriately. There's been some conversation about this over the years. Bill, I believe you still can mentor or proctor an exam. So if you have questions, just reach out to Ken or myself or Mike or Nicole, and we'll help facilitate. Don't worry about taking the exam. Where do I do it? How do I do it? I can't drive that far. I've literally have invited people to my house to take the exam in South Jersey because they didn't want to wait for some training program. And that's perfectly fine. It's what we're here for. I don't have a problem with that. We do have funds set aside in the region if we have to have somebody travel. I just ask that we not spend a huge amount of money to just have one person. So if you have 5 or 6, then I think we can facilitate something. Excuse me, but I just want to make that known that we are going to work with you. You worry about the content, we'll worry about helping you get the exam. I think that's a fair statement. If anybody disagrees, let me know. Or if you have any issues, just send me an email. Several have over the years, and that's okay. That's what I'm here for.
And I will also say that if you've going through the process and you have an issue beyond your control with the administrative part of the process, we on the regional board are more than willing to listen to your problem, help you with a solution, and advocate on your behalf to make sure that the administrative people do the right thing.
And I do that, God, about 10 times a year.
Yeah.
And right now I have an issue that I'm working out for a student, and they submitted a piece of paper with the wrong signature, and that was the rejection. And I have issue with that. Why make somebody go completely through the process over again when you could simply say, send us the right piece of paper with the right signature? They're the kind of things, and I don't want to badmouth the CEM Commission because they do a lot and they work very, very hard. CEM commissioners average an extra 20 hours a month on reviews and such. And that's why they have to have standards and rules and such. But I think that we also have to remember that we're dealing with a variety of members with different capabilities, different expertise, different funding, different employers. So reach out anytime when it comes to issues and problems that you're having. we've been able to get some good successes and some good wins. Last is to get involved. It is important that you know that this is your region, your opportunity to get involved. There are caucuses and committee of IAEM-USA that include awards, bylaws. Now, commissions and committees, I'll talk about in a minute. Committees are those organizations that are standing organizations meant to facilitate the business of IAEM. So training and education, nominations and credentials, government affairs. These are things we do on a regular basis, DEI. There are also task forces such as certification and scholarship. They're actually now referred to as commissions. And the theory of a commission is that a commission has independent authority to operate based on the standards provided by the board, approved by the board, but they generally are doing a very specific type of business. The scholarship, for example, commission, fundraising and coordinating opportunities for scholarship and academic development. And of course, the certification commission I talked about already. There are then caucuses and committees who do the business of developing content and providing guidance and also networking within specific issues, areas of concern or areas of commonality. K through 12 education, higher education, emerging technology, uniform services, even a weather caucus is there to talk about weather and transitions and working with NOAA and National Weather Service. Mental health and wellness. I believe, Mike, you chair a committee now? Oh,
Yeah, I chair a caucus, the
the
children,
caucus, I'm sorry. I keep
children
doing
in
that.
disaster,
Say again?
children in disaster.
Children in disaster. It is a topic that's very near and dear to me since the Northridge earthquakes. I'll tell you that story someday. But these are all available to you. These are not restrictive. You can join these caucuses and get involved in the conversation. It's the simplest way. As member of the board of directors, I sit on 2 of these committees as the board liaison. So I sit on mitigation and climate resilience, actually 3, but mitigation and climate resilience, and I sit on the scholarship commission, and I believe I'm still involved in one other one. So I have to one other committee. So there's always a board representative there that can answer questions, bring things back to the board. But it's your opportunity to engage like-minded individuals on issues and trends that are relevant to your career path. Mike, do you have anything to add there? Because I think I want to make sure that you get a chance to express some opinion there.
Oh, well, thanks. I think your other one is bylaws, right, Anthony?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm also on that one as well too. And again, anybody's, as long as you're an IAEM member, you can apply and get in. There's no other criteria to be on other than actively participating. My particular caucus, we have over 50 members, but on average, we have 11 or 12 that show up to meetings every other month. We meet quite often. We meet like 6 times a year. So it's one of the more busier of the caucuses. I'm also on training and education, and I don't think they've met as often, and it's harder to get a hold of. It's a real challenge, obviously getting a lot of people's time and everything like that, but it's extremely fulfilling. I've had the opportunity through the caucus to not only network with peers in other jurisdictions that have similar challenges as what we have here in New Jersey, or here we have in New York, Puerto Rico, Virgin Islands, et cetera. But also to be an expert to others. I mean, I think that's kind of a cool thing too. FEMA looks to us for guidance. NEMA possibly does. There's a bunch of states and so forth. But we are really, this is the tailored and real subject matter expertise that goes into obviously very tactical type specifics. I don't know much about transportation or tribal affairs, so not my thing. But if I did, have a question, I know where to go.
Absolutely. And a couple things to point out here. Every one of these committees, caucuses, task force, or commissions has leadership. So it is your opportunity to get involved in a leadership environment over time. As of this year, I believe the leaders are elected for much of these by the committees themselves and approved by the board. The main thing to understand is your entree into emergency management, IAEM-USA, and getting engaged at that national level is to be part of these caucus and committees, and they are open to you. They're available to you. With that being said, if you feel that one of these caucuses or committees or one of these topics needs to have a local activity, you want to create a Children in Disaster Region 2 caucus or committee, we can do that. We can create committees of our own that are focused on issues and agendas relevant to us in Region 2. Just reach out to your state representative or reach out to us, and we'll be glad, the executive board, and we'll be glad to entertain it, to pursue it, to explore it. I do ask that it not just be your idea when you're creating a committee, but that you have 4 or 5 people actively interested in creating that topic. We do have other leadership at this national level, so you will not be there as the only person at Region 2. I believe Lou Sasso is involved in healthcare, as well as Pat and a couple of our regional members. We have others as well, so you're not going to be there alone. You're going to see a lot of faces from the region there, and that's a good thing. Every one of these has different time commitments, and they're not, some are rigid that they need you there because they need to approve and talk about content. Some of them are not very heavy time commitments. It's an opportunity to engage a discussion. And you can also choose what level. So go to the IAM website, look on the information on the different committees and caucuses. Each one's there and spells out what they're about. And then you could actually email the staff liaison to request to join so that you could be emailed when they're meeting. And again, if I need to help, feel free to reach out. We can make that happen. Leadership opportunities. As I said, there are elected and appointed officers for Region 2. Volunteers are empowered by being involved and engaged in the process, and you now can run for Region 2. I think you have to have 2 years experience in the region to be able to run for regional president. And also, I believe treasurer will be up, or secretary will be up, I'm sorry. And then next year or the year after, so we stagger the positions. Secretary and treasurer will be up. So it's your opportunity to get involved, but you start by getting involved in committees. If you want to create a committee, let's look at that. I need help on committees, let's get you involved. If somebody on this call or somebody seeing this likes to deal with e-publishing, I need your help. I can't rely on Mike to do it all the time. That's not fair. It's not fair to take Mike's time all the time when there are other people that are willing to engage. Or we do it as a group so that it's not overwhelming for any one person. I do thank everyone for making these visions visible and making the visions come to reality, because I tried the first year or two on my own to build us, and it was a stupid mistake, and far more advancing, far more capable by having everyone engage and being involved in the process. Special projects, as I said, you have an interest, bring it up. Your ideas, it's your region. Tell us what you want to do, what you can do, how you can contribute, and we'll back you in most cases. I mean, it depends on what the issues are, but this is all about your opportunity to grow our region for the betterment of everyone. So in closing, use this link to go to our LinkedIn group, and there's lots of posts there. All Region 2 members have access. It is a member-only LinkedIn page for right now, and that'll probably stay that way. I think it's been helpful. There's just under 200 members now, might be a little over 200 now, but this is the opportunity for you to ask questions, engage, talk to people. There's a lot of people on LinkedIn, and we found it probably one of the most successful, but you could also look at other places. As I said, the IAEM Connects, there is a Facebook page as well. And this is our page on IAEM.com's website, or .org. I believe it's .com, actually. They may own both, actually. So there you go. Your opportunity to get involved starts with you reaching out. It has to be. I can't reach out to you, which is one of the last things I wanted to point out to everyone. Make sure that if you want to receive email from IAEM-USA and the region, that you go into your settings in IAM.com, your dashboard, and make sure your mail settings allow us to reach out to you. If you have not given us permission to reach out to you, I do not even have your email address. I'm not allowed to. So that's an important thing, to make sure that you have opened up the channel so that we can reach out to you. I know that's speaking to the choir because all of you are here, but if you're not getting email from the region or from national, it might be that you opted out and didn't know. The default is to opt out. So you have to physically opt in to get information. And of course, we're very proud of our swag. We were one of the first regions to have a challenge coin. Michael actually designed it and won a contest. And then we morphed the challenge coin into our logo, which you now see the shirts, patches. We even have stickers. Did we ever get stickers, guys? I know we got magnets.
We have magnets, we have pins, we have coasters.
I am told stickers are the new big thing. So
Yeah,
maybe
we have some small stickers. You know, for the right price, we can get you stickers. They're the kind that would go good on
a mug.
Yeah, mug or a Contigo mug. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's
about an
talk
inch wide.
offline. Maybe that's something I need to bring to the IAM USA conference in Longport, if we can get them in time, and hand out to members that are there. So let's see if we can do something there. If you've not got, we actually gave challenge coins to every member when we first got them. That year we were very proud. It was the first time. So right now I think they're $10 or $12, which is extremely cheap. You know, from time to time we'll give swag out for free as we can and as money allows us to. Anything else you want to say about that, Mike? This is you're the shop guy.
No, just if people have ideas, that'd be great. You know, we can do different vendors. Obviously Ken's got a vendor that's got embroidery and stitching. I've got a vendor that does the sort of print imaging, mostly on swag items that are really inexpensive, like coasters and cheap buttons and that sort of magnets, etc. But you know, the coins are a whole nother aspect. Anthony helped.
That was my world.
Yeah. I've gone down it a couple of times, that rabbit hole a couple of times. Boy, a lot of fun. So other things than that, certainly welcome it. And then I think you did mention that you can go to the main IAEM store and buy these items. I think.
Yes, I was just going to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are all available: jackets, shirts, embroidery, as well as patches and the like. We're very proud of our logo, and we're one of the few regions that went this far. But I think our membership should be proud. Our coin, I think, is fantastic. There are other regions that have coins, but I'm very proud of ours. So they're available to you. And if you have any questions, just reach out again to any of the executive board, iam.r2.iaem.com. And there you go. So that is our contact information. Feel free to reach out anytime. I'm going to leave that up and ask if anyone has any questions, comments, anything you want to bring up in the last few minutes. Okay.
I just want to make it clear that the region is only as successful as the members allow us to be. So if you can help us, if you have something to contribute, please feel free.
Absolutely. All of these things you saw were not me. They were not Ken. They were not Mike. They were all of us. And it all started with somebody's idea. You know, somebody said, can't we have a challenge coin? I think it was me. So we created a competition. Ken said, can't we have shirts? So we found a vendor and figured out a nice shirt and a nice opportunity for embroidery. We have Nicole with her social hours and with her working on that conference this year, which really, Nicole, it is going to be very hard to beat you, to beat this year's activity. But we need to create the committee to do it, and we got to get that done soon, or we're going to wind up not having a conference. And that's okay. If we do a conference every other year, I'm okay with that as well, but it should not die. And look at all we've been able to do in having a conference this year. We've been able to offer this discount to the national conference. That's just very few other regions. I don't think any other regions offers that level of discount. They're normally 5 or 10%. And that, again, we started and everybody else chimed in on. So, you know, if there's something else you want, simply send me an email. Could we, what ifs, are triggers to all kinds of conversations. So that's it. That's all I have for you tonight. I hope everyone appreciates this kind of walkthrough. And if does anybody in the audience have any questions whatsoever, just unmute and go ahead and talk. Hearing none, then I guess we can go ahead and be done. And I appreciate everyone's time tonight. And thank you very much for being here. I, again, look forward to working with you over the next year.
Take care, everybody.
Take care.